Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of Griot's Garage YouTube Live. I am Nick.
I'm Sam.
And I'm Stevie.
And we have a very special guest, our retail manager, Guy. If you've ever come to our Tacoma store, you have probably run into Guy and hassled him for better pricing. And he holds strong. So he's going to help us with some of the wash demonstrations we're going to be doing today. We're pretty excited about this one.
Yeah, this is a big one for us.
If you guys have ever spent any time in the ether of YouTube and you have any interest in detailing, you'll probably have run across a ceramic comparison video. There's some guys that do really good jobs. There's some guys that do really mediocre jobs, and it's kind of hard to cut through, who cooked what was, who's paying them for that type of review. So you know who we're getting paid by, so that's pretty obvious. But I think that we felt that this was a great way to not only show you how our products perform, but speak to the features and benefits that we seek, and then also acknowledge some of our competitors who have really great products as well.
Yeah, and also give you guys a little glimpse into some of our product development processes. What we're going to do here is very similar to what we do at the onset of a new liquid product development project, with really going out, getting everything that's on the market and playing around with it and seeing how it all stacks up.
Yeah, so we do have some business to take care of before we get into that. It's some of our best demos. We're really well prepared, so I'm really excited about it. But if you've seen all of our advertisement to this point, this is one of the biggest giveaways we've ever been authorized to do. Sam is standing behind it. It is this Ultimate Detailer Cart, as equipped with over $1,700 of product on it. So
fully kitted. You even get a sweet hat. Got all your pads in this bin that you can't really see. Full set of pads, every size except for our 1-inch. You even get a swirl finder light, bucket, brushes.
Really everything for an exterior detailer, including machines. So it's really kitted out. If you have nothing, and this is your first time getting into detailing, you will literally have everything. And you will probably be a diehard Griot user. As they say, the first hit's always free. So biggest thing we want to equate this to, though, is we were tasked by the old man in the bean counters to get 500 likes to give one of those away. And we are simulcasting this on Facebook as well. So if we get 500 likes there and 500 likes here, even if that happens after this live is completed, we are going to be assigning a winner. One of the very important things is obviously you have to like the video, but then we are also going to pick, once we get to that number, we're going to make an announcement and you'll have a chance to enter again. But if you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel and you're the winner that's picked, we're going to move on and pick another winner. So be sure that you are also subscribed. That is part of the deal here. And again, that's how we convince everybody to give us this opportunity to give all this stuff away.
Yeah, you have to be subscribed. We will be checking. Figure if you don't like us enough to subscribe, you probably don't like us enough to receive $1,600 worth of our product.
Yeah, but even if you didn't like us before, you'll like us afterwards.
Absolutely.
So we're certain of that.
I'd like to make a small clarification. We have to hit 500 likes during the live event.
All right.
Okay,
so call your kids, call your wives.
Get after it.
Call whomever.
Call your parents.
Wives.
Yeah, let's go.
Uncles, aunts, nieces,
multiple
nephews.
wives, wherever you live. I'm not going there. We're off to a great start for sure. And then we will have, obviously, the floor is open for any questions that are related to what we're doing. We're going to focus on ceramic and the competitive set here, but we obviously love your feedback. So we want you to participate, ask questions. We're going to do our best. We have a feeling this is going to be a very active chat, lots of information. So submit your questions, and you will have a chance to win our Ultimate Ceramic Family Kit, which is on my cart here. That's going to feature our ceramic 3-in-1 wax, ceramic speed shine, ceramic wash and coat, washcloths, plush edgeless cloths, and gallons of the ceramic 3-in-1 wax and ceramic speed shine as well.
Even if we don't get to 500 likes, we'll still
be giving some of those away, no doubt. So we're excited again about this one, and we do this homework all the time, right? Like this is our job.
This is my favorite part.
And Stevie's job as well. She's behind the scenes right now, but
my favorite part of our job.
Both you two did an enormous amount of work getting us prepared for this, so I think it's going to go off without a hitch, and you guys are going to really, really like it. So.
No stress at all.
No stress. No stress.
Super easy.
All right, we are busy, but we are happy here at Griot's Garage.
Yes.
So lots to give away. Again, be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Give a thumbs up, a like on this video, and we're going to get to that giveaway number. I am absolutely certain. And again, we can give away 2 of them if we get 500 likes in either one of them. So
I like that. Lick the like button. Really get affectionate with that like button.
Yeah, just make sure it's on your own personal computer, okay? We're still in some form of COVID. I don't know.
Yeah, we don't want you getting in trouble at work.
Yeah. So yeah, you can also follow us on Instagram and Facebook. We will be announcing the winners there. You don't have to be following us on either of those places to win the prize, but we do ask that you subscribe to the YouTube channel just to make it work for us.
Yeah, got a few first timers in there. It's a great first live to join in on, so thank you guys for being here.
Hopefully we do our job and knock your socks off.
Yes. Okay, is there any way to tell how many likes we have right now?
Okay,
all right.
We are 6 minutes in and we're at 250 likes. We are going to give something away today.
Yeah, feels like it.
Okay.
Keep it going, guys.
Awesome.
Keep it going.
Okay, so we do have some other little bit of kind of, just announcements to make.
Yeah,
we do have, it's spring, really. It's getting towards spring. It's felt like spring here.
Yeah, we've had some great weather.
Car shows are queuing up. There's some of our favorites are really starting to happen at the end of this month. First one of my personal favorites, Radwood. They're going to be down in Austin, Texas. Our crew will be there February 26th. So if you have a Rad era car, or if you've never heard of Radwood, it is worth your time. It is the greatest celebration of all things 80s and 90s. People are in costume, and there's like LeBarons and K cars and wood paneled stuff that I'm totally into. So check them out.
Yeah, that's a fun one.
And then
costumes are great.
The costumes are crazy. Then after that, we are going to have a very big presence this year at the Amelia Island Concours. We have, in part of a larger partnership with Haggerty Insurance, we are able to sponsor the concours at the Amelia. So we're going to be involved in that. And then some of our other friends are there as well. The Porsche Club hosts Works Reunion. We are the exclusive car care provider of the Porsche Club of America. Concours de Lemons, which is another just absolute mess of a show that is definitely worth going to. And then Radwood will be at that show as well. And the nice thing about Amelia, everything is super close, so you can walk to all those shows and enjoy them. So if you're down in that area, and I know Lead Dog, I was exchanging some emails with you, you're going to be there, I'll see you there.
Good weekend to be in Amelia.
Yeah, and again, we're heavily invested in that. We're excited to go. And then lastly, as Guy would be very critical of us if we didn't announce this, our Caffeine and Gasoline for March 5th, Saturday, will be Ferrari. So
yeah, that's one of the biggest CNGs of the year typically.
Yeah, so we have a pretty large, a lot of Microsoft guys with a lot of Ferraris, a lot of tech money.
I'm going to have to bring the kids out to that one.
Yeah, come and see us. And then lastly, our next YouTube Live will be on March 16th. You guys requested last time that we do one about interior. So we're going to be pulling seats out of cars. We're going to be doing all sorts of stain treatment, leather rejuvenation, and we're going to be blessed by Jeff Brown's presence.
Yeah, Mr. Jeffrey Brown.
Yeah, so he'll be in town for that, and you'll learn a lot from him. So if you like this one, then yeah, come back next month for the interior one and let us know what other themes you want us to explore.
Yeah, absolutely. We always like hearing what you guys want to see us do, so get in there. I mean, that's one reason we're doing what we're doing today.
Yeah.
Based on your guys' feedback. And we've had a lot of requests for Jeff too, so we can't let him get away with being off camera all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, we got to put the lights on him. Really make him sweat a little bit. Answer some questions live for you guys.
That'll be a fun one.
The only other new product announcement is we did reformulate our leather 3-in-1, both the spray and the gel. So if you've used that product before, we know that one's even better. It's in stock right now. So if you're in need of a new leather product, that is an excellent one. And that is live right now.
Yeah, pretty substantial reformulation. Added some protection and some conditioning ability to both of those products. So very user-friendly.
And of course, we'll have some more products coming live in the spring season, a ton of kits. We've done a lot of work on our kit portfolio. So if you don't get our catalog or you don't sign up for our emails, you won't know, you won't be the first to know about our new products. So make sure you do that as well.
And those of you asking about sales, we say this a lot, but the kits are a great way to save money, and our new kits have even more savings built into them than kits we've had for sale in the past. So definitely check those out if you're looking to save some money and get a good set of products all with one hit.
Some people are asking how to enter for the big giveaway. Once we hit 500 likes, we will randomly select a winner. So just go ahead and share the video with anyone you have that may be interested in this. Encourage them to like, and once we hit 500, we will randomly select a winner.
Yeah, we'll make some rules up as we go here, but somebody who's watching this today that is subscribed to our YouTube channel is going to win this. So
yeah, make sure you're in the comments. Of course, no spam, but
yeah,
engage appropriately.
All right, we're getting close.
$3.95.
We're getting close. Wow, we're going to hit this pretty quick.
105 left. We're only 10 minutes in.
Okay, well, look, I mean, we're going to hit that number, but let's start talking about what we're going to do because we've got a lot of demos.
Absolutely.
So as Sam kind of mentioned, this is a little bit of us pulling our skirt up a bit on process and how we look at things, and we like to think that some of the things that we've developed over time testing products aren't things you necessarily know right away when looking at a battery of products, but we're going to kind of coach you through what we're looking for in specific products.
Yeah, and of course there's never just one specific thing we're looking for. There's lots of trade-offs in user friendliness versus durability versus appearance, and finding a even balance between a lot of those things to have a very well-rounded product is always a good goal.
Yeah, I mean, there are plenty of people that drive towards cost, right?
Yes.
I mean, there are people that say cost is the only thing that matters. If I get that cost in control, the person who pays that price does not care what the result is. We know you guys aren't that, and we don't hold ourselves to that standard. So sometimes cost is not a variable, right? We always have a target, but really if we meet all the performance and just application attributes, all those type of things, we feel we are confident in something we can bring to market. Likewise, if we know a product has to do certain things, we're going to compare it to the competitive set or establish that as a net new product and work towards that.
Yeah, there's always must-haves, and then you have some nice-to-haves potentially in there too. But before we get started, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe and hit that like button. I know you guys are all getting reminded by our viewers in the comments, so thank you guys. Subscribe, hit that like button so that if you do win, you'll actually get the giveaway. We don't have to pick somebody else if you're not subscribed.
Yeah. So with ceramics in particular, we've never beat around the bush about the fact that, we're proud of what we make, and what we're making, our ceramic lineup is primarily ceramic infused products, right?
Yes.
We're not directly comparing them to a high solids, resin and solvent based coating application. But our products are excellent in their durability, their ease of use, and of course they can supplement those higher solids coatings where, if you are buying a warranty, you're signing up for a care regimen from somebody else using similar products, right, in order to maintain that. So if you get a 9-year coating and you take it through a tunnel wash, guess what? You're not getting 9 years out of that baby.
Nope.
So don't do that. But these products, again, were developed in-house by us to serve that particular purpose of supplementing those higher solids coatings that are on the market. And a lot of professionals have made great money installing those. They can be a little finicky. They are great in an experienced enthusiast's hands, and they have great benefits. But so do these products.
Absolutely. And much more attainable, easy to use. And all of the products that we're going to be testing against today are in that same type of category. They're mostly all ceramic or graphene infused products. They are not high solids, vial coatings where you're applying them to small sections, wiping off quickly, and so on. These are either wash and coat type products or ceramic infused spray coatings and ceramic detailers, which we'll talk a little bit more about as we get going. And a lot of you guys are already asking about graphene. Are you guys doing graphene? Are you not doing graphene? We're going to talk a little bit about that today, and you guys will get to see some of our logic behind why we haven't done graphene products.
And why we may never,
until this
right?
point.
Because there are opportunities, as we'll show and share with you through our testing about what we're looking for in terms of potential improvements for our own products, how to improve our base chemistry, and the things that graphene's irrelevant if those things aren't true, right?
Exactly.
If you've got a bottle of water with graphene in it, guess what? You just paid a lot of money, and you probably should have read the fine print.
Yeah, might just clog your sprayer.
Yeah. So that's...
Should we get started?
Yeah, we're going to start with the wash and coat first. A couple other things to keep in mind. You know, we've done our homework on this. We've used all of these products extensively. The set has evolved and improved since we've come to market, so we know that, and we continually strive to improve. One of the other things about ceramic and some of those more professionally oriented products and some of the products we're going to show you that are trying to imitate those is that there are some risks and some downsides to both application and your health. So we're going to acknowledge that because we are an American company. We make these products in the U.S. We play by the rules as it relates to, in particular, California, who generally sets the benchmark for the most restrictions. But at the end of the day, Sam and I wash our cars with our kids. Right? We want them to be able to be around us. I want a long, healthy career using chemicals. Yeah. And this is pretty integral to us. So we're definitely not going to pull any punches as it relates to what we believe is effective yet has a risk, or ineffective, has no risk. There's somewhere in the middle, right? And we're going to show you where that is.
Absolutely. Another one of those balances that you have to strike in product development.
Yeah. Do you want a group of Californians knocking on your door with their Birkenstocks taking your car care away?
Well, I think it's also important to mention that, you know, a lot of these products, ours and some of our competitors included, are sold in large retail chains across the country. To have placement in those retail stores, you have to abide by the regulations of all 50 states that those retailers do business in. So products that are on shelf in a retail store are typically going to be guaranteed to be vetted a little bit more thoroughly for their contents versus something that's, you know, never been on shelf anywhere and can kind of fly under the radar a little bit more. So that's another good point to remember.
Yeah. All right. So let's jump in. We're pretty excited about these demonstrations. Matt, you're gonna have to coach me around because I'm.
All right. So there's a close-up of our hood. So we're gonna start out with the wash and coat formulas. This is one of the quicker tests, because there's not a lot of durability testing involved after. And we've selected 4 competitive products and our own wash and coat formula. Because we don't want to disparage any of our competitors or call anybody out specifically, we're not going to be divulging specifically whose products these are, but we will be giving some details as to instructed use directions, dilution ratios, and kind of user experience and how we've felt testing these products in the past and setting everything up for today. We've got our hood pre-stripped and divided into 6 sections, one of which is a control. So I'll show you here before I start applying anything that this hood is completely bare. And then once we have all 5 samples applied, you'll get to see those in comparison to our control over here, which is a completely bare section that we are not going to apply anything to. And then just to be fully transparent, we have not pre-mixed anything. We have water in each bucket at the proper gallon volume that we need for the proper dilution of each product, but we have not mixed any of these. You can see we've got all of our solutions pre-measured out in measuring cups, and all of these dilution ratios are following exactly what the manufacturer recommends on the back of the bottle. So we aren't leveling the playing field by using the same ratio with all of them, or doing anything tricky. These are all exactly how they're recommended to be used when you buy the bottle out of the store.
And to be clear, the water levels do slightly vary, but we can confirm that, again, we just put symbols on the buckets themselves so as to represent, for us to know what we're doing, but it's 2 gallons, 2 gallons, 3 gallons, half gallon, and then 2 gallons. So those are the proper dilution ratios based upon manufacturer's recommendations. So,
so we'll start with ours, and I'll speak to each ratio as we're going through. I'm going to dump each solution into the bucket, and then I'm going to top off the buckets to mix the solution in with a quick spray of water. So all these are about quarter gallon under where they need to be, so we have room to top off. So we'll start with ours. We've got 4 ounces of Griot's Garage Wash and Coat here. This is a 2 ounce per gallon dilution ratio. So we have 4 ounces and 2 gallons of water in the bucket. Drop that in. Next, we have our money sign formula. This is a professional geared. Oh, did we hit it? 500 likes.
Wow.
All right, on YouTube. So now you got to get there on Facebook.
Okay.
We can give another one away.
All right. I've got it. I'm going to come up with a question. We have just hit 500 likes on
awesome.
YouTube. We are giving away that fully loaded detailing cart to one lucky person. Remember, if you have not subscribed and we cross-check it, you're not going to get the cart. So it's important. But I'm going to ask you a question, and the first person to answer it in the comments is going to win this cart. So give me a second. I'm going to think of the question while Sam continues with his work.
All right.
And then you guys are going to have a chance to answer it.
Nick's thinking. All right, so here we have 7.1 ounces of this product. Again, this is a professionally geared product. You will not find this on shelves in retail stores. It is quite effective, which you'll see, but it also requires using the most of your wash concentrate. So this is a 1:9 dilution ratio. So 1 ounce of concentrate to 9 ounces of water. So we have this at 7.1 ounces of concentrate to 64 ounces of water. So equaling your 9-to-1 dilution there. Again, if you're using this in a bucket, you have to use over 14 ounces of product in just a single gallon of water. Sometimes you can get around a car with just that much, but it does require a lot of use. I think they recommend mostly using this one in a foam cannon because of that. It's going to be a little more efficient, but you still have that 1:9 dilution.
Okay, so I've got the question, and it's 2 parts, and the first person to answer correctly, again, so long as you're subscribed to our YouTube channel, is going to win the fully loaded detailing cart. So, as you know, I am a huge Formula One fan, and this is related to Formula One. So the question is 2 parts. How many times did Ayrton Senna win the Monaco Grand Prix, and what was the last year he won it? So the first person to answer that question in the comments is going to win the cart.
Who's got Google open already?
Who should know that off the top of their head?
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, I'm pretty excited. We're happy that you guys all participated. So, wow, we got some wrong answers already. So,
all right, are we going to announce winner at the end? Or
we will announce the winner at the end. If we're going to timestamp them again, we're going to make sure that you guys are subscribed. So, we'll need a little bit of time after the correct answer comes through, and we will go from there.
All right. Just stop me when you're ready.
Okay, keep going. You're doing great.
So next solution is our Aero product. This one is 1 ounce to 3 to 4 gallons of water. We have 3 gallons in this bucket here, so we're giving this one the best chance at succeeding with the highest concentration of product relative to water. So again, 1 ounce to 3 to 4 ounces of water. Dump that one in. Next, we have our Star product. This one is going to be 3 ounces to a gallon of water. So we have 6 ounces in our cup to 2 gallons of water there. So again, 3 ounces per gallon. We have a total of 6 ounces concentrate to 2 gallons of water. Dump that in. And last but not least, we have our Circle sample. This one is interesting because it does not provide a recommendation of how much water to use. So some of these products aren't all that thoughtful in their directions. One assumption you can make from that is this probably isn't very reactive. It's probably not going to leave much protection behind, because if it was very reactive, you would need to know the exact dilution ratio to use. Otherwise, you'd probably get yourself in trouble. So 2 ounces in our concentrate cup to 2 gallons of water in here. So we took a guess, again, giving it a good chance at competing here with a 1 ounce per gallon dilution ratio. Pretty standard. All right, so now we will start topping these off. Again, we just left them just a little under the gallons that I told you. I'm going to give this as fair of a chance as possible by doing a 2-second spray into each bucket. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and 1, 2. All right.
So we had a couple correct answers come through. So I think you guys are going to have to go through. The correct answer is 6 times, unmatched by any other Formula One driver today. And 1993 was the last time that he won in Monaco. So
Nick's out here making things interesting.
Yep, and that's my job.
That's a good one. I was gonna say, taking a page out of Richard's book.
Yeah, lots
keeping
of
everybody on their toes.
With some crazy numbers for sure. But yeah.
All right. Well,
there's a funny guy in there. He said he had quite the advantage being named after a McLaren. But your timeline's a little mixed up, but I appreciate it.
That's too funny.
So yeah, we looks like we pulled about 5 or 6 in that scroll. We saw a ton. So somebody doesn't like the question. I don't know. I guess that's sorry.
That was a great question.
We're making the rules as we go here.
Yep. All right. So I'm going to show you guys real quick. Just I don't know if you'll be able to see this great on the camera, but I'm going to tilt this bucket without dumping any out. You can see there's not a lot of suds here. This is our wash and coat. Because of the ceramic additives in these products, you're not going to get an extremely high suds production like you're used to with a typical wash soap. That's going to be standard across the board here. So we can look in any of these given buckets, even the highest concentration, you're not really getting much of any suds there.
Send that to the left a little bit.
Very little suds production. There we go.
Yeah.
And most of those suds that are in these buckets are going to die off by the time I'm done doing what I'm doing here. So we'll show you again at the end. But it's not to be alarmed if you're using a product of this type and you don't get a lot of suds. It's because of those ceramic additives. It's hard to get a very high foaming soap as well as good durable protection. The two kind of combat each other. You know, oil doesn't mix with water. Your polymers tend to kill your soaps. So that's why you get what you get there.
And, you know, really, we had about, when we brought this formula to market, there was about 3 to 4 products in this category. Now there's about 13 that, you know, we're not going to buy from a YouTube ad or the grandpa giving a testimonial. And we pretty much eliminated 7 of those right off the bat because they're extremely high foaming. And this is really just the marketplace taking advantage of the ceramic terminology to state this is a wash safe for ceramic, but really all it is a pH neutral car soap with no additives in it whatsoever that they've charged you more money for. So long as you're not using a wash and wax or something that introduces a polymer protection package that might inhibit ceramic, make sure that ceramic product is probably not advertising high suds because the things don't work together, as Sam spoke to. So again, we eliminated about 8 products right away, and then we did eliminate another product because of the very specific mixing instructions that would have implicated that particular product as, you know who it was if you are aware of this marketplace. That product is not the worst one, without a doubt. It is plenty good, but we just thought it'd be too obvious.
And it's a different type of chemistry, so we wanted to test products that are all using similar types of chemistry versus one that's completely outside the purview of these. So we'll go ahead and get started. I'm going to start with this panel here, hitting it with some water, just to show you guys we haven't cooked this at all. Completely bare, nice flat sheet of water, slowly evacuating off that section. That is evidence of a bare paint surface. We've completely polished these hoods and wipe them down with panel wipes about half a dozen times to ensure that they are completely clean of any polish residues, old protectants, anything of the sort. So you can see again, that is a completely bare surface there. I will also do that with the other sections as we go along so that you know we didn't give anyone an unfair advantage here. So this is our star section. Let me find our star wash. Got that here. I'm gonna dunk my mitt in there. Make sure I get it nice and mixed up. I'm going to go ahead and leave the mitt soaking wet, or the washcloth, excuse me. And just your normal wash step there. Go over it twice just for good measure.
Now, one other thing about this is that a lot of people like suds as a visual indicator of where they've been. However, suds aren't necessarily indicative of a very slick wash or actually a safe wash. So one of the things that we do know about most of these products is they do have some good lubricity to them. They do feel safe. So even if you're not seeing those high suds that make you all warm and fuzzy, they should be plenty slick to clean a car safely.
Yeah, that one had some good slip to it. I could feel that it was sliding nicely along the panel, no drag or anything there.
Before you rinse too, just keep in mind, guys, if you're watching on Facebook and YouTube at the same time, those are separate giveaways. So if we get to 500 on Facebook, there's another chance. So, and it looks like we got a little bit longer to go there, a little further away to go there, but yeah, there's at least an opportunity to get another one, and there's still plenty for you guys to win. Yeah, sorry we're upsetting some people that didn't win. That's how life goes. All right, let's see it, Sam.
All right, you can already see it's still a flat sheet on the panel there, so that one could assume from that there isn't a whole lot going on, but let's see what happens when we rinse it. So get it rinsed down, free and clear. We're gonna wait until the water has all evacuated to make sure there's no soap left on the surface, and then we'll hit it again to observe for hydrophobicity. You always want to wait until your initial rinse has fully left the surface before really judging hydrophobicity there. So as we see again, not much change from before. Still a very slow moving sheet of water. So that was number one.
Yeah, and our general complaints outside of lack of performance were that there's no application flexibility. It's only a bucket wash.
Yep.
In that scenario, you'd want to see a little bit more, because if you're applying protection, you're essentially agitating the surface, which should give it an opportunity to impart that protection better than, say, a foam on rinse off methodology. So that one, again, not off to a good start, but that is a product that is on the market, and hopefully if you're looking for that type of product, you don't get that one.
All right, I'm gonna throw a fresh strip of tape up there so we're not getting any cross-contamination.
And while Sam is doing some preparatory work, I will answer some questions. Again, there's plenty of activity there. Let's see. Does it need to be sunny? Justin Yang, does it need to be sunny to use these products? Any special temperature requirements? Sunny is definitely not an ideal time. Direct sunlight, at least, is not a great time to be using anything that has a cure or a protective element. You could see adverse effects such as the product drying on the paint, creating highs and lows. So direct sunlight, high heat, not ideal. Just stick to general washing conditions, cool, indirect sunlight for best application practices and ease of use. You don't want to do this too cold, because the cold may actually affect the ability to cure. But if you're trying to do this in the wintertime just to impart some protection, just do it. You're not going to get the ultimate durability out of it, but your car is going to be in better shape applying these ceramic products in a cold situation, even at the potential sacrifice of long-term durability, than having no protection at all. All right, next one.
That's some funny banter in that comment section.
Yeah.
All right, so next is Griot's Garage in this center section. You'll probably ask, why aren't you covering this with tape now? We're going to ensure that we keep the wash between the lines, and when I rinse, I'm going to rinse away from the section that we've already done, so we're not getting any cross-contamination there. Dunk it in ours here. This is Griot's Garage ceramic washing coat. Again, not going to wring that out at all. Just going to go straight. All right. Good sign of some protection is that you can already see that reaction going there. I didn't get you wet, did I?
Yeah, one of the things you'll notice with any soap that has protection built into it is if the surface is wet, you'll see an immediate reaction. That polymer hits the surface and starts pushing water away. So for it to be immediate like that, we know we've got something going on. And we obviously knew that because we put the product on the market, but good start for us relative to the first one.
All right, so we'll hit it again. So you can see that evacuate the water pretty quick. Pretty good difference there already.
One thing our chemist did share about our particular technology is that there is a hydrolysis that happens where the polymer actually gets stronger as more time goes by on a wet car. So you'll actually see that product most likely perform better as we continue to rinse it throughout this process. So we've seen it happen a lot. It's the only thing that goes on my wife's car at this point because it's just the easiest way to do it. And she's got a white car. I don't have to keep the paint, swirl mark free. All right, we've got some specific questions about the products now. So there we go. And Andy, we do have pro products that are in the comparison, without a doubt. One of the reasons you'll see that we exclude a lot of them is because of their ability to essentially get through some regulatory hurdles that we aren't subject to, which makes the products perform better. It also makes them contain carcinogens and plenty of other nasty stuff. So while we generally do benchmark our products to the competitive set, in this particular comparison, which again, you will see professional products in every single product we demonstrate, we kind of have to make that decision. Is it a fair fight we're comparing ourselves to?
All right.
We did have a question from Mark John. What's the benefit of using ceramic wash and coat if you don't have a ceramic coating on your vehicle? Just like any wash and wax type product, this is going to clean the surface while imparting protection. Of course, if you have ceramic already on the surface, this is going to enhance that protection and just further protect that. But if it's a bare surface, you're still going to see reactivity, as we'll demonstrate when we get to the full rinsing.
Yeah, as I mentioned, Mark, it's all that I have on my wife's car. I pretty much just, every time I wash it, I do a heavy foaming step because I haven't been able to wash her car as frequently. They keep me pretty busy around here. And then while the car's still wet, I'll foam on ceramic wash and coat and rinse it off. And that's pretty much my 2-month protection, no questions asked. It's quite substantial protection on its own. But the biggest benefit is it restores the hydrophobic effects that are the first effects to diminish on those higher solids coatings. So it's a great maintenance product as well.
All right, so the last section I covered up here was the control, so we're not going to put anything on that one. Next section is our Aero product. So we've got clean, dry.
So this product was 1 ounces to 3 to 4 gallons of water. And really, guess you'll see what happens here.
All right. Get that one.
So this has a pretty strong dilution ratio at 1 ounce to 3 to 4 gallons of water. No question that is a benefit. However, it's also one of the most expensive products in the test. You're paying over $1 an ounce for each use of this product. So even though you're only putting one ounce in, you're not getting much out of it. I think the presumption is that they assume you're gonna put more than 1 ounce and get more foam, but the protection is what we're after in this particular study.
Yeah, this one also doesn't smell great, which I don't know about you guys. I like good smells when I'm washing my car. That's why foaming surface wash is my favorite product ever. All right, so we'll go ahead and rinse this. Let all the water move off, and then we'll hit it one more time.
Somebody asked, can the wash and coat be applied with the foam cannon? It can. We recommend that you apply it in half car sections at a time. So do passenger side, driver side, probably do your hood in front, and then tailgate, and then roof. So it's a little bit more arduous, but it does create kind of a wetter foam, but you can agitate the car pretty quickly. That's one of the utilities that our product has that others do not. One really important thing about that too, rinse out your foam cannon. The polymers can get stuck in that mesh in the foam cannon if you don't rinse it out. So just rinse it out. That's the best thing to do.
Yeah.
Make sure your foam cannon lasts as long as possible.
Really just like any other product, just a little more important with these
clean
types
it.
of
Clean your
products.
stuff. Clean your tools after you work. It's not that difficult, but it's an important thing.
All right, so we'll hit this one again. It looks like there's a little bit of protection there. You can see the water breaking from the center, but still very slow moving sheets, not very hydrophobic at all.
Why don't you pan the whole thing again so we can see what's going on.
So you've got control. Sorry if I'm getting you wet at all.
No, you're good.
Control. So that gives you a good idea what you're seeing there. You can see the water still hanging on. Hit that bottom one. Some pretty distinguishable differences there. Peel this back again.
Hey, you're doing some work over there, Sam.
Well, luckily this plastic stays in place pretty easily.
We have a couple questions about freeze thaw. We do freeze thaw testing with all of our products, so if your product has frozen, you should be able to use it again. One thing that would be an indicator of it not working is if it thaws out, you shake it up, it doesn't return to the color it was, or you see visible separation within that product, it's most likely failed. So we generally recommend store your products in room temperature at all possible, if at all possible, just above freezing really, and below 118 extreme heat, which will dry the water out of it, and that'll be another end of the spectrum that's bad. But if you feel that that has failed you prematurely or you weren't aware of that, you can give us a call, we'll help you out. But if you can shake it back up, it generally should perform as it did beforehand.
All right.
That is part of our stability testing.
So I asked Guy to grab me some gloves because I'm not a fan of the regulatory of this product. This is one of the products that we were referring to that does have some pretty strong health risks involved, which are not all communicated in the regulatory warning language on the bottle. This product is not on shelf in any large retail accounts, so it does fly under the radar a little bit more. But just wanted to point out, that there are some products like this that exist. We always do our due diligence before we're testing something to look at the regulatory, make sure that we're being safe and that we're not comparing ourselves to products that are, highly illegal or don't comply with regulatory.
We said at the beginning of the show, there's absolutely no point in using things that are harmful to your health, right? No matter how much fun you're having, you really should just avoid that. And again, as Sam mentioned, part of the scrutiny we're under being on retail shelves is that somebody can go on the shelf, buy it, analyze it. If we're out of spec, we can be penalized quite heavily, let alone, again, the initial concern of just our own personal health when we use these products. So this product was our performance benchmark. This is a great product. There's no question. I would not be breathing around it. I would be wearing a respirator if I insisted on using this product.
If you're using it out of a foam cannon.
Yeah.
In a bucket, again, gloves. The health risk of this is that it contains, I believe, 2 chemicals. I know for a fact one, that once they're in your body, they will never leave your body. So toxins like that are not ideal, cause all kinds of problems with your health, potentially down the road or sooner than later. So
people are asking about compatibility of our products with brands. We have tested them amongst many high solid ceramic coating brands. Great compatibility. Again, if you have a base ceramic coating, high solids coating, you're just going to get the topper effects of our products and extend the shelf life of that coating. So no worries about compatibility, for sure.
Got our washcloth nice and soaked. Money sign on our money sign section here. All right, try not to get that one down my gloves. And I'm just moving everything forward.
Yeah, and if you are going to see this in real time on your own car, you might see what we like to call the jellyfish effect. We're on vertical panels. The peaks of those polymers bonding to the paint start to push soap around them.
Yep.
Looks like jellyfish. So we're seeing that with this product, which is indicative of its protective qualities.
Yeah, especially if you're doing it out of a foam cannon, you'll really get that effect.
Yeah, you'll see that with our foaming polygloss as well.
Which is pretty cool. So there you can already see some of that speed.
Yeah, pretty good break. And when we refer to break, it's how the water moves or pushes off the surface, right? So everybody's looking for water beads. You're going to see water beads on flat panels and sometimes on vertical panels if you're rinsing with a pressure washer and smaller amounts of water are hitting the surface. But really what we're looking for is how fast that water leaves the surface from the sheets that you'll see in the control sections.
See that nice water moving off the panel very quickly. Nice and reactive. So pretty comparable, slightly faster than ours, but you do also have to use quadruple the amount of product.
This is a product that if you went toe-to-toe in terms of the ease of application and wash process and result, this is, again, this was the product we set our standard to in every way outside of human health and regulatory. So that is an excellent product. It's probably our favorite as it relates to performance behind ours.
Yep.
Knowing that we still don't want to use it that often, but we did for you.
Yep. All right, so next we have our circle product going on the final section here in the corner. This is the one that doesn't have a recommendation of how much water to use. So we gave it its best chance at 1 ounce per gallon. So 2 ounces of concentrate to 2 gallons of water. Go ahead and rinse.
Yeah, this is kind of the concept where they're probably banking on you not reading the instructions, just dumping a bunch in, which from our experience is indicative of it not doing anything.
Yeah, usually if it's reactive chemistry, you need to get your dilution ratio right. Otherwise you'll run into problems. Like with our wash and coat, if you don't dilute that properly, if you use the glug-glug method and pour a cup of solution in there and then only fill it up with a gallon or 2 of water, you may get some residue from the ceramic not being properly diluted. All right.
So probably a slightly superior break to our star formula up in the corner here, which did absolutely jack shit. And
yeah.
It looks to be getting a little better, but...
So keep in mind, this is our control. This is completely bare paint here, nothing applied to that. So that's a good frame of reference for comparing some of these other slow-moving panels. So it's always good to see a product that's not allowing any water to collect and sheet. It's immediately hydrophobic as soon as you hit it with water.
Yeah, so we're pretty much seeing that here with Wash and Coat and here with our $ product. And again, pretty good uniform beading, small. That's going to translate well. And one of the other benefits of this is if you wash your car and rinse it, there's that much less water on it. So this is a great benefit as well.
Yeah, some companies have tried the tactic of telling you that water sheeting completely off means there's protection there. It's definitely debatable because you can see how our control, which has no protection applied, sheets equal to or faster than a couple of these other slow-moving sections. So if you compare our 2 top corners, your control is actually sheeting water slightly faster at the exact same rate as our star product here, which to me says that product left nothing on the paint.
It's not a star. It's 15 minutes.
It is not a star.
Sam, we had a question from Michael Osorio who said that he's noticed that some products say to use a full stream of water with no spray to get the best rinse. Is that the case with Griots, or is there any recommended spray pattern?
With our product, you can rinse it however you would like, and you will get the same performance. One thing that you'll see with using an open flow hose is that will induce more sheeting regardless of what you have on your paint. So, sometimes if you have a very hydrophobic product, getting the water to completely sheet off will mean that you have less water on the surface to dry off at the end. That's the primary reason for that. It's not at all a requirement, it's more so a preference. Products that say that you could still rinse with a hose nozzle, you're going to be fine. But ours you can really rinse however you want. I typically just rinse with my hose nozzle, or when I'm using my Canon, which is pretty much 99% of the washing I do, I'm using the pressure washer to rinse. So pressure washers are producing or putting out less water than an open hose, so that you're going to end up with less water on the surface anyways. But before we put this hood away, just give you one more look at what we're seeing here. Pretty evident differences. And I'm going to go ahead and give a shout out to our handy detail tape, because that's quite the testament that it will hold up through this much rinsing and exposure to water and still have some stick to it. So yeah, if you haven't bought any of that yet,
all right, well, we're going to switch. We're going to do the next round of products. So hopefully you like the wash and coat. Again, really, that is our no holds barred. The only reason we omitted the rest of the competitive set is because it's pretty much just pH neutral soap that claims to be ceramic safe, which is pretty much any pH neutral car soap that does not contain a protective element in it. So if you got one of those, I apologize for your loss. But we're going to move on to ceramic detailers, and we're going to show you those particular products and guide you through what we're looking for with them. We have a couple questions that are going in. Remember, guys, if this is your first time, please subscribe, hit the like button. Although we've already hit our goal, we are still going to be giving away Ultimate Ceramic Family Kit. Those are going to be based upon some of the questions that we'll get at this point. So hopefully we're getting topical questions. If there's things that make us think, we're going to probably reward you with our Ceramic Family Kit. We also love for you to raise your hand if it's your first time attending this, because we love to give products out to first timers who are also participating and asking questions. For this product, no. Would I recommend that you immediately wash all of your wash products that you used with wash and coat or any other ceramic or ceramic infused product? Yes, that's the best way to make sure that the polymers that you're imparting onto your paint aren't imparting themselves into your microfiber, clogging them up, making them less absorbent over time. The second question about will it interfere with your strip wash? Yeah, definitely. It's quite resilient to strip washes. So my question would be, if you're using that product and laying down protection, why are you strip washing so soon afterwards, right? I generally consider a strip wash something that is the last or first step for an extremely heavily soiled car, which I'm going to reapply protection to, or ahead of a correction. Now, if you're suggesting I'm going to do the strip wash first and then do wash and coat, great. That's a great process that will not only let the strip wash do the heavy lifting of removing the heavy dirt and contaminants and essentially give you a chemical decon as part of that as well, then you can follow with the ceramic wash and coat lead protection behind that may have been diminished by the strip wash if there was any protection on the surface to begin with. So hopefully that answers your question. Very good question. So it's just a matter of process and when you are doing those steps, and hopefully you're not strip washing every time you wash your car.
Yeah, we have another good YouTube video that shows a similar process. I think we're using foaming surface wash as the pre-wash and then ceramic wash and coat, but kind of similar principles there.
Yeah. We have had some questions too. We're about to go to ceramic speed shine, so I'm going to give kind of a categorical definition of ceramic detailers, what we're looking for, what we judge the competitive set on, and then it will play into some of those questions. The short answer for ceramic speed shine, our product in particular, yes, you can use it as a clay lubricant. It is excellent for that. So when we're thinking of ceramic detailers, they are categorically detail sprays, quick detailers with an added ceramic element that should impart surface slickness and protection, which is an added benefit. But really, you're looking for a light cleaner, for intermittent cleaning, for dusting, that is fast flashing and super slick. In the ceramic realm, it's gotta leave an incredibly slick finish. That's how you're gonna get that water to slide and move off your car as fast as possible. Again, it's one of the first things that's diminished in those higher solids coatings. It can be used as a clay lubricant. Durability is a great feature to have and add, but with the routine use that you get out of detailers, it's not as critical that these are extremely durable. It's just icing on the cake if they are. And drying aids. This is a great product to be used as a drying aid. Add a little bit more lubrication as part of your drying process and leave a little added ceramic protection behind. And then, of course, surface utility. The ability to use it on all exterior surfaces, glass, wheels, trim, chrome, without harm.
Very versatile. I just always gravitate to ceramic speed shine. I just picked it up automatically. So we're going to start. We have our B formula on our B section here. I'll hit it with water first.
Yeah, we are going to hit it with water first.
Good
just
call.
To show you guys, we did not cook this one at all. This is, again, a raw hood. So we're just going to hit it with water, show you the drag, and then apply them so you are all clear. We are on ground zero for paint protection on this hood.
All right. Nice flat sheet, slow moving. We do have a control section that will remain bare on that far corner as well, just like the last test. You guys will get to see that.
I'm gonna dry that so you can just
Thank you, Nick.
begin your application. This should go a little bit faster than the other one, and we'll be doing durability testing on the back end of this process. So you guys will get to see that.
Guy's gonna give me a break and I can take a rest. All right, so we're using brand new, fresh, plush edgeless microfibers to make sure that there are no outside variables impacting application or performance of any of these products. As I finish a product, I'm gonna set it on the shelf behind just so you aren't wondering where they're going, but quickly buff that off the rest of the way. Use the opposite side of the towel. So with most detailers, you don't want or need to soak the surface. So we're just gonna do a couple spritzes here. As I peel the plastic, I'm going to be spraying away from any adjacent sections to avoid any chance of overspray. And I'm going to wipe the product evenly across each section before buffing it off just to make sure full application. So,
And you're going to use a separate clean towel for each.
Yes, of course.
You don't have any cross-contamination potential.
So that's quite slick. You know, flashes relatively fast. Feels lubricated during application and pretty slick post-application. So that's a pretty solid user experience.
This is our B, Formula B.
Formula B.
Formula B is a graphene product as well. So we should be able to see how that one holds up with some durability.
All right.
See what all the fuss is about.
You can see the pigment. You know, that's not dye. That's going to be your graphene additive.
It could be dye.
I suppose you're right. It could be. What do I know?
Could be dye in addition to a little
I'm not their chemist.
A little bit of pencil shavings in the bottom.
Just grinding up number 2s back at the lab. All right. Grab a fresh piece of tape here. All right.
John Huckabee asks, how well will the 3-in-1 ceramic work on wheels? Excellent. You can follow our general application instructions to apply ceramic 3-in-1 wax to a wet or dry wheel. Get great durability, do multiple coats that way. Another trick that we've got, we'll share a little later, but I'm gonna share it with you now. After you've cleaned your wheels and they're still wet, spray ceramic 3-in-1 wax on the wheel surface, allow it to sit for 10 seconds, rinse it off, dry your wheel. Excellent way to add some immediate water repellency. You can do that with ceramic speed shine. It won't be as intense of a protective result, but if you spray your still wet wheels with ceramic 3-in-1 wax, you'll get a great result there.
That's a hot tip.
Pro tip, baby.
Next we have sample A on section A here. Should I spray each section as we go?
Nah,
Okay.
I think if I don't keep interrupting you, you could probably get this done pretty quick.
All right. So again, I'm going to spray away from our adjacent section so there's no chance of overspray. 2 spritzes there. Set our A up above. And then again, fresh clean microfiber, the one from B is up top. Going to evenly apply to the section, flip my towel, and buff dry.
How they smell as well. Want to know that. Got to know that.
Oh man, that one's a little bit filmy. So I never like seeing a lot of film in application of, especially detailers. It shouldn't really be too filmy. Oh, touch that up. That's nice. Smell, I didn't really smell while spraying it. Probably not very strong. Yeah, no good.
So one other thing, you'll see that we've got multiple white liquids here. That's generally indicative of a opaque bottle that this will come in. And if a manufacturer can skip the step of adding color and or fragrance to this, they should get a simpler product to stabilize. So that is a way that some of those guys just skip that step. They put it in an opaque bottle, make that label bright or whatever they've got to do to draw attention to it. Not knocking that, that's fine. People can do that. And arguably it'd make our job simpler if we did that every time. But at the same time, it's not indicative of these being the same products. It's just companies taking that same approach with opaque packaging.
All right. Next is Griot's Garage Ceramic Speed Shine. Putting that on our GG section here. Again, fresh towel. Spraying away.
There's got to be some of the most questions we've ever had in one of the lives. So I feel bad that we're not getting to all these questions. We might have to do a subsequent follow-up live and do all these questions. It's great.
Absolutely. So this is my favorite part about Ceramic Speed Shine. It's just insanely slick. Yeah, man. Oh, definitely the slickest so far during and post application. Again, one reason that it's a great clay lube. Most of these do recommend or give you the option of using them as a clay lubricant, but not all of them do. So you do want to, if you want that use or that function, make sure you're checking that on the label before you buy the product.
We got a couple other quick questions. Does Ceramic Speed Shine rejuvenate a ceramic coating like McGuire's or Bead Booster does? I think it's Bead Maker, but no fault there. It's a similar concept, yes. And again, I think Bead Booster would go more, or Bead Maker would go more toward the ceramic sealant side, be more substantial than a ceramic detailer. So the benefit of these toppers is, again, the peaks that are created in that high solids application are the first ones to wear down with abrasion and weathering. And when you reapply some of these toppers, they're essentially bringing those peaks back, which replenish your beads, replenish a surface slickness. The base UV protection of that coating is going to remain for that useful life that they advertise. But these toppers really do help to replenish some of those other performance aspects. So the short answer is it won't bring it'll bring the most visible aspects of a ceramic coating back, yes. If you want even more substantial protection, you would use our ceramic 3-in-1 wax if that was your goal.
All right. Next up is sample C on section C here in the bottom corner. Prime that sprayer. 2 spritzes again. Put that guy up top. And same application method, we're going to spread it even and then buff off. Just so you guys know, you don't have to do this spread step during normal application of one of these. We're just ensuring that we get it fully applied to the section.
It's also a way for us to be able to gauge flash.
Yeah.
So you don't want a thin product like a detailer to be filmy, as we've experienced with one of these, kind of cling and make you wipe a lot, right? If you're using a detailer for light cleaning, the last thing you want is more toweling. So this spread is really just a step for our eyes to watch if some of that product whisks away or evaporates, which means, again, we've got less wiping to do, which is beneficial.
Ideal, specifically like Nick said, you don't want to be heavy-handedly wiping the paint to get residue off with a detailer, as you may scratch. That one was a very nice application. I would say slickness is probably a close second to ceramic speed shine. And that one smells really good too. I like that fragrance a lot.
So since you're in the dark here, that was our developmental benchmark right there.
Okay.
So that is a very good product. We think that's probably the best in the category.
Very familiar with that
one. We've got a lot of great questions. Let's see. There was one about shelf life. Typically, our products have a shelf life of about 5 years. Again, so long as they're stored correctly, if you're not putting them in extremes. If you're noticing any discoloration of your bottle or discoloration of your product, so long as it smells the same, I would say the discoloration could be due to UV exposure. We do UV test our dyes and usually select ones that are UV resistant, but over time they can fade. So if it still smells the same, it should probably be good. And then we had other questions about layering. Do these products generally benefit from layering? We'll talk about that in the ceramic spray coating, but in general, our ceramic 3-in-1 wax definitely benefits from an additional layer 12 to 24 hours after initial application.
Absolutely. Layering can be pretty fun too.
Yeah.
So I want you guys to see this because this is something interesting that we're seeing with a lot of graphene chemistry is heavy separation. I'm not sure, try to walk this a little bit closer in to the camera there. Oh, wrong way. Still getting used to that. But you can see that dark layer on the bottom. As I shake this up, that mixes in and it's quite chunky. There are visible chunks of whatever that black pigment is floating around in that bottle. So that's evidence of a unstable formula. It's not very stable chemistry because whatever that is breaking out of the emulsion and is probably going to clog your sprayer, potentially mess up your towels or scratch paint. Who knows?
Well, Sam, that was in fact a graphene-infused product, and it comes in an opaque bottle to hide that instability and chunkiness.
Yeah, and actually we had to immediately switch the sprayer on that bottle because it wouldn't spray, and when we took the sprayer off, it was clogged with graphene.
During our testing,
before we
I
had
had
even
to replace
used it,
Yeah,
I think,
before we
too.
had used it. So.
That was fresh off the shelf. The sprayer was clogged. So makes you question the chemistry a little bit when you run into stuff like this. You know, of course, not every product is going to be perfect. Not every chemistry is going to be perfect, but that can be alarming to see.
Yeah.
And it's something that has been relatively consistent with graphene products that we've tested. They all seem to have some level of severe separation. So Formula D on section D. Oh, set that one there. Fresh towel. Going to evenly spread that. Try to get my corners. And buff it dry. That one has a lot of drag. Like it almost feels sticky.
That ain't right. All right, we had a couple questions while you're finishing that up, Sam. Somebody asked they want a laundry detergent for their microfibers. I think it's daily driving hoopties. Great handle. Microfiber and foam pad cleaner. You add 2 ounces of this to your microfiber load along with a laundry detergent that is free of any fabric softeners or any other BS, just a straight over tackle laundry detergent. Costco has those detergent pods. That's generally what I use. Again, avoiding fabric softener. Add 2 ounces of this to your load. Really nice for boosting and bringing back the absorbency of your microfiber that could be diminished when using ceramic products. But again, really critical when using ceramics. Wash while your towels are still moist. Wash right away.
So we had a few questions and comments about whether we're going to share whose products, which competitive products we're testing. We do not plan on disclosing that at all. And the point of that was that we're showing you what our products do versus competitive, not necessarily, hey, let's, throw every competitive product under the bus. We're not necessarily interested in calling out specific companies and their products and their failures, more so highlighting our exceptional ceramic line.
Perfect, Stevie. You toe the company line perfectly. Not surprised, but it really is. I mean, there's absolutely nothing gained by dragging our competitors through the mud. We're simply stacking them against, like, this is the game, right? Where you put them next to each other and you do it in a manner that is as forthright as we can possibly make it, and you can be the judge.
Yeah, so, as you saw during the first test with the wash and coats, we weren't the absolute best end-all be-all formula on the panel. You know, you could argue based on dilution ratio and things like that wash and coat is more beneficial than some of the others, but there was a very good performing product there, and I think you'll see some good stuff on this panel as well. So Formula E, Section E, switch sides, so I'm spraying the right way. 2 spritzes.
Jay mentioned that he said, I heard graphene particles are all for show. I guess we'll see when we get to the wash testing how those stand up.
That's the fun part.
Yeah, and we've had a couple questions just about our hesitancy related to graphene, and a lot of that is due to some of the hesitancy of our suppliers. You know, we buy our raw chemicals from people who obviously have heard the term graphene, because some people are asking and buying it. And really the reliability of the source and quality of that product is one challenge. The other thing that is really clear is that if you don't have good base chemistry to deliver that graphene, and you're just dropping it into a mediocre emulsion, you're not going to get the benefit of that graphene either. Because again, it's just not going to be delivered properly, and it's probably not going to be blended within it. We were testing a product recently that we have in development against a graphene equivalent, and it was an absolute joke. And it was twice as expensive as that same company's SiO2 equivalent, which was also unfortunately a joke. But you can just see there's this opportunity to climb the ladder based upon these buzzwords, and some companies are honest about it, some aren't. Are there excellent graphene products out there? Without a doubt. Are those light years ahead of ceramics? Probably not light years. If you have good ceramic technology and you introduce graphene, you're probably going to have a good graphene product.
Yeah, I've heard it compared to the nano trend from years past. You know, back when nano became a thing, it was like everybody was putting nanotechnology on their products. Whether or not it meant anything to the actual performance of those products was up for debate, for sure.
Yeah.
So here we have Formula F on our final corner here. Fresh towel. By the way, that last one required a little bit of effort, but it was pretty slick. I just had to wipe a little bit more to get rid of some film there.
Yeah, my notes on E was that I thought it was just too thin. It finished slick, but it didn't feel like there was a lot between the towel and the paint in my application. That was my notes there. So
on this one is, again, kind of has some drag and requires some additional work. As you can see, these are small sections. You can imagine when you're using more of the liquid on a larger section, anything that we're seeing here is just going to be amplified the bigger the section and the more product you're having to use. So if you're having issues with film and doing a lot of wiping on a tiny, square foot or 2 square foot section, you're almost guaranteed to have more issues on an actual vehicle when you're doing it in the real world.
You don't want to use a detailer on a 1 by 1 foot area either, right? You're gonna attack a small fender, maybe a quarter of a hood or half a hood at the time, depending on how good your conditions are, just ambient temperature. But gosh, if you're struggling with this size, you're gonna have a bad time.
Yeah, you're not gonna enjoy yourself doing a full car. So.
All right, so we're going to show you initial hydrophobicity with the water sprayed on the surface, give you a good panel of that, and then Guy finally is going to get to help us wash some cars.
I'm excited.
I've been waiting so patiently.
I'm done doing over here.
Yeah.
All that retaping was stressing me out. Okay. All right, we'll hit this, and I'm going to hand it off to Guy. So I did see a question just a minute ago asking what's the recommended cure time on these types of products. Yeah. The detailers you can expose to weather immediately after. However, you will see slightly improved performance and durability if you allow them to set up for 12 to 24 hours post-application before you take them out in the rain or expose them to water. A lot of them have similar protection packages to the spray coatings, just at a lower concentration, with other things in there to aid in lubricity and whatnot. So ideally you're going to give it that, but we're going to show you what you get with immediate right now. So you can see the control there, flat sheet of water, and all the others, man, there's some pretty impressive stuff on this hood. That water is moving off of there quite quickly.
Yeah, so our initial, our benchmark looking pretty good. Probably the first to fail will be this one, just based upon how much water it was holding. Granted, you know, you might put water on it alone, but I mean, literally once the water was getting to that point, it completely stopped.
I just want to call out that that is the one that was separated, chunky, and had that graphene additive.
Okay, so that was a graphene product, that D, and yeah, it does not look too impressive upon initial rinse, again, without introducing any soaps. Z level up time, Z. For best adhesion, would you recommend a surface prep? A surface prep in the form of a panel wipe? Yes. This is something that is kind of commonly known. If you've just done a correction in particular, there's the potential for residue in the form of polishing oils that could interfere with the molecular bond of some of these high solid ceramic coatings, or even things like carnauba wax and polymers. So a panel wipe is generally a good step if you're going to add a protective element. So, and there's more on that as they come. But all right, so we got the initial performance after no washing and quick application. As Sam mentioned, you can expose these products directly to water and elements. The ease of use, the speed with which you can use them around your car, you're going to reapply this pretty quickly, so you're not hoping that this lasts for a year or anything. Just bolstering what you do hope lasts for a year, which should be your base coat. All right, Guy, take us away. So Guy's going to do one wash, and we're going to count passes, and we're going to try and accelerate it. We'll do a few washes. This is our Brilliant Finish car wash.
pH balanced soap, ounce per gallon dilution, similar to what you would be doing during a real world car wash. So we'll start with this solution, and then we'll see how durability goes. And we do have a 10-to-1 foaming surface prep that's highly alkaline to speed this up if we need to.
Yeah, and you can already see after Guy's initial agitation before rinsing which products are really pushing that soap and water off and which are clinging to it already. So we've got the control, which is essentially holding all that soap and water mix. Again, our favorite D down here. And then some of the other better ones are pushing that water off before it's even rinsed. All right, well. I think this guy down here for me. Yeah, so that C product is absolutely incredible. Doesn't let any water sheet whatsoever. So that is still remains one of the most excellent products on the market, for sure.
And that was our benchmark.
That was our benchmark, yeah. All right, so we're going to keep counting washes and try and get you guys some questions or answer some questions when you guys are, or that you guys have been submitting dutifully. Again, we still have some stuff to give away, so if you're still here and are asking some great questions, we're gonna reward you.
We're at 300 likes on Facebook. So.
Somebody's saying that the 4 sections had more time to cure, the top sections. It's pretty. Yes, you're right. Probably a couple more minutes.
Yeah, not going to create any difference in reactivity.
Yeah, we've done this enough to know that you should be getting it right away with these detailers. So yeah, I would say that's a pretty weak challenge to this one.
If one had the chance to set up for maybe 30 minutes to an hour longer, there may be some performance difference, but not within that time frame.
Yeah.
Mark John asked, is ceramic wash and wax, ceramic wash and coat, safe for rubber and plastic trim parts? Yes, it is.
Yeah. All exterior surfaces. It's one of the best parts about ceramic wash and coat, as well as these ceramic detailers, and spray coatings is that you can apply them to every exterior surface virtually. Some of them don't play well on glass. We always recommend our ceramic glass cleaner for glass surfaces, but the other products can be used on glass with pretty solid success. And it's a great way to protect your trim and grills and rubber and plastic that wouldn't normally get protection applied.
So control obviously is control, very slow break. We're starting to see already some sheeting and cleaning. We saw it initially with D. We're starting to see it with E as well. I think that would be expected based upon what I know that from that product. C, still performing excellently. B is also, A, B, and ceramic speed shine are looking pretty darn good. So after 2 washes, really only 2 starting to do anything. And again, the durability is icing on the cake, as we mentioned. We're really trying to get all those other application characteristics. We want hydrophobicity, we want kind of a self-cleaning aspect, but we aren't expecting these things to cling for a year. So if all those other initial things are excellent, we can sacrifice a little bit of durability.
Absolutely.
At least I would.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say too. Sometimes you have to make compromises to have an effective, well-rounded product.
All right, focus on C for me. Just punish that C. Yeah, well, that was on the back of developing ceramic 3-in-1, so we
learned a lot.
Yeah, we learned a lot about just the ceramic chemistry, how to incorporate it. We obviously have an excellent array of detailers already in terms of
It was over a year, though.
It was definitely over a year.
I think around 18 months.
And that's pretty typical for any of our, if we're going to put speed shine on something, it's got to be damn good.
Yeah. That one went through, I think we got to a point where we were happy pretty quickly, and then getting like the last 10% of performance out of that product took probably close to 24 iterations for that last portion of the development, just to get it really dialed in, really slick, really user-friendly.
We had a few requests for clarification on which one is ceramic speed shine. Could you point that out?
Yes, it is labeled GG. So it is right here in this corner next to the control. Once again, we had 2 graphene products. I want to say is A and D.
Yes.
D looks to be like the worst performing product at this point. E is right behind it, and then F.
I'm sorry, clarification, the graphene are B and D.
B. B.
Yes.
B. I'm sorry, B and D.
B is in boy, D is in dog.
And B is looking fine, D is looking terrible, E is about to die, and F is also about to die. C, still untouched at this point, as we would suspect.
And D was the one that had the major separation going on.
Yeah.
So.
Christopher Topping asks, would you recommend using ceramic 3-in-1 as your initial layer and then wash with ceramic wash and coat, or does the order of what goes on the paint matter? Christopher, I don't know if you have the ceramic products, but I think that's probably, based upon how he's asking about that process, you either have them all or you need them all. So I think we give him the ultimate ceramic kit just based upon that question.
Yeah,
so Christopher, and yes, we will outline that process, but basically these products all have a place. Again, if you start over here in this imaginary world with a professionally installed high solids coating, all these products can serve it, and that would be your base layer. If you don't have that, you're gonna start here with ceramic 3-in-1 wax after freshly correcting your car or knowing that there's no protection on the surface, clay, panel wipe, apply 2 coats of this, that serves as your base layer. The ceramic washing coat can be used every time you wash to further enhance ceramic protection and water behavior and self-cleaning. And then the ceramic speed shine can be used for touch-ups or as a drying aid in addition to ceramic washing coat. So really these 2, they all serve a high solids coating with all brand compatibility, which we have validated over the many years now that this has been on the market. And then the other 2 serve it in different purposes. All have great uses, compatibility across different across different uses for speed or clay lubrication, wheels and glass, foaming sprayer, foam cannon. We really have created a versatile lineup of ceramic products that are easy to use.
They all work very good together. I think it was Mark John was the handle. Before I forget about that comment, I remember that Z28, man. That is awesome to hear that you love our products now and are a lifetime customer. So thank you, thank you. I miss doing demos in the store sometimes.
I saw something that people are having trouble seeing what's failing. I'm hoping to give you a little bit more visual cues, but Matt, is there any way we can, okay, let's put the water back on there one more time. We might need to
get a little different angle maybe.
Yeah, wondering if we don't angle it a little bit more. Yeah, so really, as I can talk you through this, D and E and F, the bottom ones are starting to break a little bit more. I will tell you again, based upon what I know, it might be a coincidence that the worst performing ones are on the bottom, had less time to cure per one particular product. But
no,
I'd say
I just placed them there after our initial testing because they were all so horrible. I figured may as well put them on the bottom. We don't need to see them as well.
Yeah, well, that's a great thing. And I'm just saying, based upon me reading whose products they are, I'm not surprised. We don't want to directly disparage them, but I'm also going to say these probably are a little overhyped relative to what they are in front of our face.
Yeah, I think they've consistently performed at this rate. So what we're seeing here is not unusual for these 4 products. Yeah. This is not our first time playing with a couple of them it was our first time, but most of these we have used before and are accustomed to the results that they provide.
Yeah.
Jonathan Cooper asked, are you guys going to test your new ceramic polish against competitors? That's a great idea. We could absolutely do round 2 of a live ceramic comparison with our ceramic glass cleaners, maybe, ceramic polish.
We don't have ceramic glass cleaner out here either. All-in-one's coming up, and you guys can comment, what products do you want us to test against in a future live. We're probably not going to tell you if we're actually testing those products, maybe give you some hints, but let us know what you want us to test, and we'll see what we can do.
Can you come on this side, guys, so we can see if...
Especially if you have a product that we don't sell that you've found is really effective. Maybe we haven't discovered it yet. Let us know what you want to see.
I can get a little bit better light on it. Okay. Yeah. Actually, that's a better call. So, ceramic speed shine still going strong. C still going strong. No surprise there. A starting to break. B is really starting to slow down as well. Okay, let's give me a D. See if I can.
I don't know. Oh, there we go.
It's not doing much there. All right, so B, which was one of the graphene, is starting to drag quite a bit of ass. D, still slow on the brake, still some protection there for sure, but almost all real hydrophobic explosion is gone. E, dragging, F, dragging. All right, I think we should probably just try and kill them with a foaming surface prep and move on to the spray coatings.
Yeah, save some time so we're not keeping these guys up all night.
Got a question here from Tim Ray. He's asking, I put ceramic spray on my wheels by spraying it on a towel, first applying it, but then they said to spray directly on the wet wheels. Is it a problem to get it on the brake components or the tires?
No.
I've got no concern with that, no.
As long as your brakes are not carbon ceramic, those are the only type of rotors that you want to stay away from. Carbon ceramic is very porous, and as most of the manufacturers have advised in their manuals and warning labels, you do not want to expose carbon ceramic brake rotors to any type of silicone or polymers because it can penetrate the surface, weaken it from the inside, and cause cracking or catastrophic failure when those rotors heat up. especially if it's a car that you track or drive hard, which hopefully if it has carbon ceramic brakes, you're driving it hard.
I don't know. I like applying aerosol tire dressings to literally the rubber band performance tires around carbon ceramic. No, I mean, but it's a good tip for aerosol tire dressings or tire dressings in general as well. Take care with those carbon ceramics because they are silicone based as well.
I know Porsche says no tire dressings whatsoever, not even if it's gel applied.
That's a Porsche thing.
Well,
that's just Porsche. All right.
They don't want you getting sling around those.
How many brilliant finish washes did we have, Count Dracula?
5.
We were up to 5 brilliant finish washes and 1 foaming surface prep wash. So that's our 10-to-1 dilution ratio, right? Or is that straight?
10-to-1. That's 10-to-1.
It's 10-to-1 through the pump up foamer. So Guy, hit me one more time with this.
And just want to thank you again, Guy.
So after
tired.
Pretty much completely dead. D, E, F. A was extremely slowed. B A is quite admirable. B is dead. C still hanging on. We're not getting rid of C anytime soon.
It's a good product.
It's quite impressive.
A good product.
So for
Why are your microfiber towels better than what you can get at Walmart? I don't know. Why shouldn't you question?
Yeah, great question. So who was it that asked? Crystal on Facebook asked, why are your microfiber towels better than what I can get at Walmart?
Okay, well, I think that
You want to go first?
This is a great opportunity for us to explain it. I think if Crystal's asking the question, she probably has Walmart microfibers, so let's give her some microfibers.
Definitely.
Yeah, so figure out how to get a hold of Crystal, but we'll take a chance at take a stab at it.
Full microfiber kit?
Yeah, we'll give you a microfiber setup, Crystal. So let's start at this point,
Crystal, email us at social@griotsgarage.com with your address for that giveaway.
Yeah. So I think one of the biggest things is country of origin as it relates to textiles and microfibers in particular. Microfiber is a pretty delicate combination. It's all synthetic fibers. Generally, polypropylene. I'm gonna totally mess this one up. The 2 main components and blends.
Polyester and polypropylene.
Yes, okay. So depending on the blend of that, whether it be 70-30 or 80-20, you can have different blends and materials and weights for different purposes. The best country for microfiber is South Korea. What you're gonna find in a big box retailer, even an auto parts store, is a very inexpensive Chinese-made microfiber that is going to be very low pile, not generally have great exploded ends, and most likely have sharp corners and edges that and tags that become scratch points. We've really done a lot of work to be leaders in the microfiber realm with the introduction of the PFM, which now everybody has piled on and copied, one of the most absorbent towels on the marketplace for both drying and detailing. And really edging, soft silk edging or edgeless components, superior stitching. These are all elements that create a safer microfiber that is also more absorbent.
Yeah, I think 2 of the main things that really differentiate performance are the edges and how the edges are sewn or not sewn. A Walmart towel or a Costco microfiber typically is going to have edging that is stitched with cotton thread. That will scratch your paint without a doubt. If it touches your paint with pressure applied, it will leave towel scratches in the finish. Depending on how soft your paint is, it may be bad. Another quick correction, I believe it's polyester and polyamide are the 2 primary polys in microfiber. I get those polys confused all the time.
It's 530.
Polypropylene, polyethylene, polyester. Yeah. There's a lot of them, but it's polyamide and polyester. Typically, ours are going to be an 80-20 or a 70-30 blend, with polyester being the majority of the content and polyamide being the smaller number. And then, like Nick said, GSM, the weight, how many times the fibers are split. You can guarantee that all of our towels are tested extremely thoroughly for any purpose that we're going to market them for. Our plush edgeless microfiber towels, the nice blue ones, Those were developed by wiping down a couple of Richard's collector cars that we know have extremely delicate paint jobs upwards of $60,000, $70,000 plus. Not surfaces that you want to be putting towel scratches in because they're not the easiest surfaces to polish, and they're very delicate. Those towels will not scratch those paint surfaces, and a Costco or Walmart microfiber 110% will scratch those surfaces.
Again, even the low-end ones at the auto retailers, they're just...
Even the high-end ones
yeah,
at the auto retailers sometimes.
Have a couple questions. When is the next C&G meet up in Tacoma? It is March 6th, Caffeine and Gasoline. Ferrari, come see Guy. He'll give you a donut and some coffee.
March 5th.
There is a name that I'm going to say because, quite frankly, I don't have too much concern about them coming for our lunch, but there is no F11 on this hood.
No.
No, unfortunately, that one didn't make the cut. But,
it's technically not a ceramic product, guys. They imply that it is in a lot of their copy, but it does not contain any SiO2 or graphene or any other ceramic derivatives.
And if you read the fine print, it can be immediately removed with isopropyl alcohol, which is not indicative of any good chemical bond. So no, that is not competitive. It's not in the same ballpark whatsoever. They're great marketers. You got to give them that.
I saw a comment, I think it was Amber, it was up a little bit. Forget the name, Amber Atkinson. I don't think I can do a very good count impression, but
a one, a two, a three. I think that's as good as I can do. My son's not into service.
Yeah, Sesame Street.
All I think of is what is that movie? Forgetting Sarah Marshall. That guy in all of his voices. Yes. So we're gonna call it on the detailers just so we can flip it over to the spray coatings and at least explain them. I don't know that we're gonna get all the durability stuff done on them, so we might have to
maybe go straight to surface prep and do a couple.
we can accelerate that. But really, I've got to say, we identified our benchmark early and often with this particular set. C, that is again a very reputable company, an excellent product with almost all traits of a ceramic detailer nailed. I am fine being second to this product.
It's an excellent product.
This is an excellent product. One thing that we know, though, about this competitive set having evolved is that we don't necessarily stop when a product comes to market. So when we know that this has one superior element, which it appears to be just durability, an explosion of hydrophobicity. While this is a extremely slick and hydrophobic formula for us in ceramic speed shine, we're not going to rest. We're going to keep working that, keep improving our chemistry, and that really should impact all of our ceramic products with a singular effort. The other one that is really impressive, I would say surprisingly impressive, is A. This is probably a lesser spoken about product.
Yeah.
Just given a lot of the noise that was made on a different set of products this company made.
Definitely.
So this one was pretty surprising. The two graphene products have proven exactly what I feel about graphene. And then these other two detailers, E and F, nothing to write home about. Don't buy those ones, even though we're not going to tell you what they are.
Yeah.
So, like I said, we did this comparison objectively, knowing that there's places where we have opportunity. We want to be forthright with you guys, and I'd say again, a silver medal's pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? If we're on an Olympic kick, which I haven't watched a moment of, but I think they're doing ski jumps in nuclear plants. That's awesome.
I don't have many comments on that one. And no, A is not chemical, guys. I think somebody was making a guess there. I can confirm that it is not.
No, again, A was actually surprisingly good. So I would not. I guess I just revealed my bias. So
I think you're safe with this audience.
Either way, I don't. We're not going to drag them wholeheartedly through the mud, but that was not a CG product for sure.
So John Wren was asking if he comes to the Caffeine and Gasoline, if there's any way that he can get a class and learn how to detail properly. We don't do that at Caffeine and Gasoline just because it is such a hectic event, and we have the car care school reserved for donuts and coffee and some custom t-shirts. But you can call our store and schedule an appointment either later that day if we're not super busy and continue to have events through the day, or any other time that we have available. So give our store a call and we'll go ahead and schedule an appointment with you.
Yes, sir.
Eugene Ray, what is panel wipe? Panel wipe is simply a very fast flashing, essentially degreaser of sorts.
Lubricated degreaser.
Yeah, that is meant to strip the surface of any remaining wax residues, so dead old waxes, polishing oils. Really, it's a post-correction or pre-protection type of step. We've got a setup video that we're going to roll here to show you what we did for this particular process. And in that, you're going to see what a panel wipe is.
Yep.
So
maybe a
sneak peek.
Sneak peek.
Little sneak peek.
Maybe.
Yeah. Hope you guys are enjoying this. We figured, it's a lot, but you can imagine if you think this is taking you long or us long to get through this is what we do literally every day. Sometimes we'll do this, again, 50, 60 different times, and we actually have to take objective notes that we can speak to our chemists and the rest of the members of our product development team to actually have objective results as we develop something to bring it to market. So
yeah,
we'll start with, as we mentioned, with wash and coat, 13 products. Get down to one that we actually think is worth its weight, and we'll try and beat that.
Yeah, it's easily one of my favorite parts of the job. Can be frustrating at times.
It can be frustrating, definitely.
It can also be quite fun.
So the last product we have to compare are our ceramic spray coatings or spray sealants. Basically, they're designed to be substantial standalone protection or toppers for other high solid coatings, which we mentioned multiple times so far. Some function like these higher solid coatings, whether they're solvent-based, but they're a little bit more finicky with the potential for highs and lows and terrible odors and even like sometimes noxious and detrimental odors.
Yes.
Most of them, at least on the consumer market, will use a polymer package to deliver the SiO2 to the surface. So the combination of those things is what's getting the SiO2 down. And then ease of use is really paramount in the consumer category.
Absolutely.
For all the work you have to do to lay down a high solids coating, you have to do no work to do these well, or at least that should be the goal.
Yeah, I mean, they're so easy to apply that you shouldn't have any problem applying them once to twice a year as needed, which really can give you comparable durability and hydrophobicity and self-cleaning ability to some of the higher solid coatings out there.
Yeah. Jared, a couple quick questions. Do you have any rinseless washes? We have two. We have the Brilliant Finish Rinseless Wash, which is a wax-free solution. And then we have our Rinseless Wash and Wax, which is a carnauba and polymer package within it to add a little bit of protection. Both of them have the ability to be diluted at different ratios for both touch washes and also waterless washing and rinse aid applications. Okay, let's play this video. We're going to show you what we had to do to set up these ceramic spray coatings, which is a little different.
Kevin Clancy asked, any updates on releasing Surface Prep Cleanser?
Oh, Kevin, you're about to get your mind blown. So basically, these are our test hoods. We take very good care of them, but because we do so much durability testing of a variety of products, the first thing we have to do is reset these panels. So the easiest way to get rid of ceramic products or any protective elements is to cut them off with polishing. And there is your sneak peek, Kevin Clancy. So once we polish the hood, we'll use a panel wipe product. The product you're seeing us use right there is actually our panel wipe product called Surface Prep Cleanser. And we have been kind of in a regulatory quagmire on that product for a while, but we're finally through it. You're going to be seeing that come to market this spring. So we're I think we're all collectively exhausted and relieved by that. But we know that one, that's the best on the market, no question, once it gets on the market. So you can see Sam sectioning off the panels, and then for these products that usually require 12 to 24 hour cure, we applied them yesterday at about this time, or about when we started. So these will have the proper 24-hour cure, and we just followed the manufacturer's instructions to a T. Whether that be the amount of sprays per panel, whether that be applied to an applicator and spread, allowing it to dry to a haze. You can see that one in particular. There's actually a solvent base in that because you've got that kind of rainbow solvent evaporation happening in front of your face. And then removing the same way and allowing them to cure properly. So yep. I don't know, anything to add to that application? It's not rocket science really at this point.
No, pretty simple. Again, I mean, very similar to the application that you saw us do with the detailers in real time. There you can see some of the timing. You know, if the product recommends being allowed to set up for a certain amount of time before wiping it off, we followed those recommendations. And you know, we're always assessing the products as we apply them. So, you know, there's never just one task in this type of testing. You're always looking at every aspect of the product's performance, from how it looks in the bottle to how it smells to how it sprays out of the sprayer to how it wipes off, and all of the above.
Yeah, and again, these towels are just the best way for us to prevent cross-contamination, and this is kind of easy work for us. But this is the only one we couldn't do in front of you guys because most of them do call for cure time, so we gave them the proper amount of time.
Yeah.
So we are actually just going to go straight to durability testing with it. Somebody was asking, what is the alkaline foaming wash for? That is our foaming surface wash, or foaming surface prep, excuse me. It is a high alkaline concentrate that is delivered through a foam cannon. It has the ability to be diluted at a 10-to-1 ratio for pre-treatment of leading edges, heavily soiled areas. This is, because of its alkalinity, it will not help to protect wax. So the concept is, again, for extremely heavily soiled cars, like that's what I used when I got my Wagoneer back from the snow trip, right?
Yep.
Like there's road salt, there's all sorts of crap. I'm going to foaming surface prep. I know I'm going to reapply protection. So
yeah. Great product to use before ceramic 3-in-1.
Yeah, it's a great one because, again, you're trying to get surface neutral before you apply these products. So it's a great opportunity.
I also want to touch on, Ryan Rich asked, can you talk about the real-world wait times for driving after application of the 3-in-1 spray wax? With any protection application, you typically want to wait about 12 to 24 hours before introducing any water or other products to the surface so that those waxes or protectants can fully cure and bond to the surface.
Yeah, important to mention that if you do apply it and have to drive out in the rain a couple hours later or something like that, it's not like it's going to completely rinse off all your protection. It's just going to shorten your durability a bit. You don't want to expect maximum claim durability if the product's being exposed to moisture.
Yeah, if you want maximum durability, for us, again, we recommend 2 coats with essentially it's a 48-hour process, right? So apply your first coat, 24 hours later, apply the second coat, 24 hours later, go drive in the rain.
Yep.
That's going to get you maximum durability. Is it necessary? No, because this product is so easy to use. You can apply it literally in 5 to 10 minutes, getting around your entire car, and you know, be on your way. Right? It's not a substantial 40-hour correction to redo a coating. You also have a lot more paint on your car with that.
Yes, absolutely.
But one other thing to keep in mind too, we have some other application tips for our product in particular. Less is more. Use your first towel to spread the product over the area you're working. You don't want to coat it like you're detailing a car, right? Creating a lubrication. No, you don't need to do that. It's pretty thick, so you can spread it around. Use a second towel to wipe up the excess and dry. Cycle your towels as you move around the car. If you're trying to dry the product with a wet towel, you're going to have a bad time.
Yep.
So cycle your towels. You might use 6 towels. And somebody asked, what's the best towel? Our Ultra Plush microfiber cloths are excellent for that. Usually I'll use those to spread, and you can use a PFM towel to do the drying.
Oh yeah, 2-towel method.
Yeah.
The PFM to follow up. That's the quickest.
Yeah, and then preparatory, wash the car, decontaminate the car, whether that be mechanically or chemically or both. Panel wipe for superior protection, or superior adhesion, I should say. But usually you could go clay, get the car, you know, substantially clean and decontaminated, and probably apply ceramic 3-in-1 wax without risk that severely diminishes your lifespan.
Absolutely. We've had a few questions on ceramic glass cleaner, which I think we'll end up including in a future live of this type. Yes, you can put it on top of glass sealant. It's an excellent topper for glass sealant to add life to that product. And a lot of you guys have been noticing the compact sit-on creeper too in the back that Guy has been sitting on this whole time, asking how comfortable it is. It is very comfortable, as Guy will attest to. It's also the most versatile creeper in the world.
In the world. Let us know if you guys like this format. Again, it's long form, there's no question. We haven't gotten to as many of your questions as we'd like because we're trying to educate you and show you these comparisons. We have the opportunity to do more of these lives. We invested in this setup, heavily for, COVID times, and you guys are responding. You like it, but you got to tell us if you like it. And so, if you want to see us do the other ceramic products, in particular the ceramic all-in-one, ceramic glass cleaner, let us know that. And then, oh God, looks like you're gonna have to do that.
I was waiting for that.
And then again, next time is gonna be interior. So if there's any other areas of the car you want us to really focus on, we can do that as well. Okay, Bobby. Are you tackling machine?
I think you zigged when you should have zagged on that one.
Zigged when you said.
That's one of my favorite scenes when he gets drilled.
What are you?
First practice.
Stupid, do you understand? You're fired.
Mama said.
All right, so let's get going. It is 5:50, so we've been here for a while.
Yeah.
Good God.
We knew this was going to happen. This is a long one. Yeah. Thank you guys for hanging with us.
Yeah, for sure. And again, let us know if you're liking this. We'll do more of it. So right now we have control up here. We have our product number 2 here, product number 3 here, product number 4 here, 1 here, and then Griot's Garage Ceramic 3-in-1 Wax right here. So we only have 5 different coatings to compare, including our own. At this point, we did eliminate some based upon early returns, so if they were not extremely durable right away, or if they were too invasive, whether that be, again, human health, solvent, those type of things are things that we're kind of excluding. This category, to be fair, is very strong. There's a lot of good products in this category. I think, again, it's going to be a lot of preference if you like to use a line where those products tend to work well together, or if you're a fanboy of one, and if you're a fanboy of ours, great. But in particular, I'd say that this is probably the most uniformly strong category across the board.
Yeah, definitely.
Whereas it seems like wash and coat, people are, have 2 different definitions of what that category is supposed to mean. The detailers, there's some strong ones, there's some really crappy ones. And then the spray sealants and coatings, again, if you're not buying it directly from a YouTube ad and you're buying it from a reputable company, I think a lot of them have figured this chemistry out in a way that may be unique to them and is generally good for the consumer.
Yeah.
Right? You guys have choices.
And we've seen some advancement in this product set,
yeah.
Over the last year or 2 as well.
Even a bottle of a competitor's product that we bought initially, that we buy a new one, and there's an obvious difference. Yep. They're changing their formula.
Yeah, so everybody's learning, adapting.
Which is great. Again, at the end of the day, it's for you guys. And, well, it's for us. Let's be honest.
Yeah, we all use it. Heck yeah.
But you guys get to benefit from our work and our competitive set being competitive.
All right, I think Guy wants to get back to work.
Let's do it.
We did have a question of what's the pH of the foaming surface prep. In the 10-to-1 dilution, it's going to be a very high pH between right around 13 to 14.
There you go. Give it a 3 count in every one of those.
So it is a highly alkaline formula. Will strip products. Obviously, it takes multiple applications to get some of these more durable products completely off, but it does strip well.
I liked this question from Amber Atkinson, and I'm going to try and make this as simple as possible. She asked, can you guys explain the chemistry behind why cure time is necessary? Essentially, when you apply a protection, there are components of that evaporate off and allow that protectant essentially to harden to the surface. I'm using the word harden just to ease the understanding, but it's not something that actually gets, like glass hard or anything like that. But essentially there are chemicals or components of that product that evaporate off and allow that protectant to fully cure. If you apply any other product or protectant on top of that before all of those gases have evaporated, it'll actually prevent those gases from evaporating and therefore shorten the lifespan of that protectant. So I hope that explained it as simply as possible and kind of helped get a grasp on why cure time is so important.
Yeah, and you also need a chance for the ceramics and the polymer package to cure and adhere to the paint surface as well. Not all products are going to have solvents or things that are off-gassing or evaporating, but you do need that proper amount of time to allow polymers to cross-link and adhere to your paint surface. I think of it similar to paint needing to cure. If you're applying a spray paint or even roll-on paints in some cases, you want to let those cure and set up for a proper amount of time before you put on a second coat or before you expose them to certain elements. Same exact concept. It's so that all of the chemicals in that solution or in that formula can do what they are fully intended to do to give you maximum performance out of the product.
So, just given what we know about this set, I had Guy do 3 passes. Typically when you wash your car, you don't need to run your wash tool back and forth over the same, area. You're trying to make as few passes as possible. That's your riskiest time.
Yep.
Outside of drying when there's still dirt on your car. So being that this is a clean hood, we know these products are extremely durable because these are generally base layers, and some of these are solvent-borne, more high solids chemistry. Those 3 washes really did nothing to anything. Yeah, in fact, the only one that's showing any sign of allowing a sheet, but it's still a very fast break, is number 3 after 3 washes. So, and I'm not surprised by who that is. So, and actually that one was one of the poorest applications because it is a solvent base. So we do 3 again.
Smells
so we're
extremely strong.
Again, an accelerated washing in this just to be sensitive to everybody's collective time. So we'll count this as, 6 washes essentially after he gets done with these 3 passes. But
we could always get crazy with a surface prep mitt or something.
So what's strange about that number 3 is the fact that it does apply like a higher solids coating, right?
Yeah, and it's solvent based, which typically means it's going to be more durable than a water based
have the ability to deliver higher solids in the liquid form, right? Because those solvents are cutting the solids up. So yeah, in applying to an applicator, that's how we believe that they were getting the regulatory bypass to claim it's a coating when it really smelled like gasoline.
I would put money on the fact that product would not be compliant if they were recommending spraying it directly onto the surface, because of the atomization is going to be under a different regulatory purview than a product that's applied to an applicator and wiped onto the paint.
So our control up here in the upper left-hand corner, obviously control. You got Griot's Garage. This guy hits that right now. We got product number 1. Product number 4, looks pretty good. Product number 3, definitely allowing a sheet to develop, and if not, sheeting and breaking. And then product number 2 over here looks really strong. So that's after 6 washes. Admirable even for the worst of those to be hanging on that way. After 6 washes. So we'll do one more set of 3, and then we'll go to an alkaline cleaner and try and kill these. So interesting, the only graphene product on there is product number 1 in the upper right-hand corner. And then the professional formula that is on there is number 4, so the bottom right-hand corner to my guy's right hand right there. So the right side of the hood is, again, our only graphene product, which this is another solvent-based product. So you probably want a respirator or open air application with that type of product. But pretty easy to use in general. So it's got that going for it.
Let's see. The Josephine Delgado I don't think we're going to spend too much time on explaining rinseless today just because we're already running pretty late here, but we do have an awesome YouTube video. Just search rinseless wash and wax on our YouTube channel. It'll explain that full process for you.
Okay, and give me a 3 count on 3.
Oh, and
so you can see that one's really starting to, outside of the other ones, which are still looking pretty damn good, this one in particular is lagging behind. All right, let's hit this with foam and surface prep and really see who's hanging on after that.
Daily driving hoopties asked chamois or microfiber. That's an easy one.
Yeah, don't. And you can do a microfiber chamois, but then you're just confused.
Chamois have a much higher risk of causing scratches in the paint because there's no nap there to be forgiving if there is any dirt or contaminant, a pine needle that dropped onto your hood, something like that as you're drying the vehicle. And they're also typically less absorbent overall. They're easier to wring out, but our PFM is the king.
Machine washable is a huge benefit to microfiber as well.
Yeah, good point.
You can essentially reset them and get rid of anything that's in there. If you are like going over and drying a car that you missed a spot and you pick up that dirt in a chamois, one, you've got less surface area than most microfiber drying towels.
Yes.
And it's really hard to get that stuff out of the chamois material.
Yep.
All right, couple things to note. We've just put heavy foam of the 10-to-1 foaming surface prep on here. One thing you can see in the truly protective ones, and in particular with ours, is the push, right? So we sprayed a foam on here. If this is really making this move, granted, again, the bottom ones are at a disadvantage, but if you're seeing break at the surface point, you know that your protection is actually pushing that product away from the surface. So it is demonstrating actively a chemical resistance.
Always a good sign. Just to explain,
let's agitate it just once.
Just to explain our math here with our washes, we're counting multiple washes during one set because of how many passes guy is making over the panel. Yeah. So that's why we're bumping that up.
Yeah,
he's
again,
making three full passes instead of one.
We would do it one swipe at a time if we had the time to do it.
Yeah, we'd be here all night.
But again, just a realistic count. We're not saying that that's directly equivalent to 9 weeks of washing. These are just ways to count, but
yeah,
we would be normally be counting just a single swipe as a wash.
Yep. Just like you would in real world scenario.
Best practice, right? You aren't rubbing over anything.
Yeah. So basically, every time guy's hitting the panel with his mitt, he's washing it 3 times. We're counting that as 3 because of his passes.
Okay, so that's doing some damage for sure. So if 3 is not long for this world for sure. And actually 2 is starting to die off pretty quick. I didn't get a good look at 1 or 4, but yeah, 1's got a little bit of allowance on the right side there. Let's take a peek at 4. Yeah, so that's actually still quite admirable. And then you can see the control is still struggling in the upper left-hand corner. So that's how you know that one's still bare. I mean, it's not there. So, with a lot of these torture tests too, at some point people call them, right?
Yeah.
It's obvious that there's still something pushing water off the surface that is indicative of protection. But if it's moving that slow, if you're not seeing water beads, really that's an indicator to reapply. Right? I mean, if you're
losing benefits of the product.
If you're going to spray brake cleaner on a hood and say that that's reflective of like real world durability, I mean, I don't want what you're smoking, but at the same time, yeah, it makes a great YouTube video.
It's probably been sniffing a little too much brake cleaner.
Yeah, maybe so. Or using some of these other ones that we kicked out of here for human health concerns. Okay, so that was 1 foaming surface prep, dwell and agitate. So that did a lot of damage. Let's do 1 more of those, and then we'll see where we're at. We're after 6 o'clock.
We could do a final one with the surface prep mitt.
Sure.
Don't try at home, but
yeah. How good has Guy been
without going
today,
too
everyone?
crazy.
Thank you, Guy.
Excellent.
I'd like to buy a vowel.
I'm pretty appreciative right
Yeah.
now, so I was getting tired up there earlier.
It looks like you guys, hey, let's end it with some
than you
jokes.
think.
All right, Ryan Rich is asking, are we doing jokes? let's get some, because we've been here for a while. It seems like you guys are liking this, which is great.
And Ryan, we're always doing jokes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah,
shouldn't
do we
forget
actually
that
have
part.
the giveaway winner? All right, let's do it, Stevie. This is a confirmed subscriber and the first person who got the answer right?
Yes, can I get a drum roll? The person who guessed the correct answer first was Logan Del 211.
Oh,
right,
Logan Del 211.
Yeah,
So-
Christmas came
Congratulations.
early. Yeah, awesome, man.
Yeah, let's bring that kid
Thank you
back
for
in.
participating.
So Logan, if you'd like to send your address to social@griotsgarage.com, we'll go ahead and get that kit sent out to you.
Yeah, that is single-handedly the biggest giveaway we've ever done on a live, or I think probably at Griot's. So
Look at all that product.
yeah, we definitely knew that we wanted to, go big for this because we were pretty proud of how our product stacked up. But
Just in time for spring season,
yeah,
too.
I mean,
Literally,
Logan, you better get to work with this stuff, man.
could not be getting this at a better time. You got your car wash, you got your wheel tools, you got your washcloths.
I will
brushes.
say, Logan, if you're still here and you don't send us a picture of you with all the boxes that are about to arrive at your door, and then once you've set it up, I'm going to be very upset
Yeah,
with you.
tag us on Instagram,
Yeah.
Facebook. Yeah.
But I want to see the outright joy of receiving all of this stuff. And we'll obviously share it back through everybody so they know it's legit. But we're stoked to give this one out. And, I think we could probably do it again based upon how successful this thing is.
Yeah, and thank you guys for all the great feedback. See a lot of you saying you love the long format. I think we do too. It's a lot of fun. And for those of you that get impatient, we're sorry, but lives might not be for you. If you want some real quick, digestible video, go to Instagram or our YouTube channel. You'll find some of those there.
Okay, so we've almost completely lost number 3 here. God rest your soul, 3. Number 2 is
RIP.
definitely starting to slow substantially. We're looking pretty good up here just with height and size of water bead. This one's looking pretty good too. And then give me a 3 count on that as well, please. Yeah, that one it's hanging on. Let's do one more foaming surface prep and then we'll see how the jokes come in. And
what did we ever get to for likes on Facebook?
It's over 300.
Oh, man.
We've got someone on Facebook who wants a demo of the compact Snark Creeper 2 again.
Okay, we can
Okay.
do that.
all right.
So Facebook's petering out a little bit, it sounds like. We gave you guys plenty of time.
Yeah, I
Come
mean-
on now.
The nice thing is everybody can just get on YouTube without having to
Yeah. You don't have to have a Facebook.
go into the metaverse, and who knows what Mark Zuckerberg's doing with that.
I don't even want to know.
Yeah. But again, that's great participation. We'll have to do something for the Facebook group based upon that being quite admirable as well. What was the final likes on the YouTube one? I mean, it must have.
Like 650.
Okay, great.
Wow, nice.
Why don't we?
Go for 1,000.
Why don't we
next
do
time.
one more, just totally random, because everybody was complaining about that. Just I don't know. What's totally random participation? Given that there's 150 more likes than we needed, we'll give away another.
Your favorite Griot product?
Okay, here we go. At this moment in time, write your favorite Griot's product, and if you write one that we actually sell that isn't one of our competitors' products, you will be entered to win an ultimate ceramic family kit as a consolation for my non-random, really off-topic question from before. So, sorry.
they were picking on you, man, but you're
Oh,
the boss after all. You make the
my
rules.
skin's thicker than that, and again, we're controlling the purse strings here. I could have said,
nobody likes losing. People get all, "Wah,
I know.
I
Well,
didn't win the giveaway." It's
Yeah.
like I've never won any giveaways in my life.
Look,
I'd
one
enter them
guy
all
got
the
a
time.
really nice.
Kit next time. Who
Yeah.
knows?
Yeah.
I don't think Richard gave us too much guff about giving this one away. So
Nah.
we probably got a little more room till we hit that ceiling.
All right, so we've done one last foaming surface prep. We're waiting for a few more jokes. I mean, we're going to wrap this in less than 5 minutes, so just keep in mind with all these, the first flush is to get rid of the soap, and then we'll go back and we'll watch water behavior. So this is not the perfect one yet.
That's a pretty good one. How can you tell the car was made in Switzerland? It stays in neutral.
I've actually never heard that one.
I haven't either. That one's good.
I think Rich Smith needs a Waterboy poster.
Yeah,
Signed
for sure.
by you, Sam. I got you. All right, one more time.
What? Rich Smith. Oh,
Rich
man,
Smith,
here come
if you
the
wanna-
favorite products.
Rich Smith, please send your address to social@griotsgarage.com and we'll send you an autographed
Once again, I
Waterboy
think
poster.
3 was on its way out from the very beginning and is actually holding
good
on better
answers
than I would have
coming in.
presumed given how early it started to drop off. 4 is actually surprising me as well. But yeah, I think we've got it. As we mentioned, this is a pretty clean and competitive set. Even though people are approaching this differently with solvent delivery and or higher solids, some of these are kind of out of line in terms of pricing. But really, again, we're going to be doing a lot more washes. I think when we did this the other day, we were at 10 brilliant finish washes and,
and
6 foaming
or
surface
8
prep.
foaming surface preps.
So these
8.
things have a lot to hang on to. So I think we're probably going to call it and just figure out who's going to win the last.
I got a winner on Facebook.
You got a winner on Facebook?
That's Griot Parks. He said fast correct and his favorite product.
Okay.
The entire lifetime for the first time.
Oh, thank
All right.
you. Richard Parks?
Richard Parks
Richard
on
Parks.
Facebook. Great. And then we're going to pick one more on YouTube, and then we'll probably get out of here. But hopefully, again, you guys love this format. If there's more we can do to make it better, let us know. You got a topic you want, let us know.
I'm really realizing I'm just a sucker for bad jokes, man.
Dad jokes or bad jokes?
Both, but Neil White is what's blue and not very heavy. Light blue.
Yeah, this I got too close to
Stupid, but
retirement.
man,
He
you got
said, did you get a haircut? No, I got them all cut. That's what my high school Spanish teacher used to say to me, and I just can't stand that joke. So I'm sorry, man. I mean,
That's a key dad
that's
joke,
that's
though, yeah.
pain from my teenage years. All right,
That's worse than
nothing
hi
personal.
hungry, I'm dead. No.
Yeah.
Someone said our next prize would be a personal detail from Richard.
Personal
Oh,
detail from Richard. Oh God.
I don't know if you're gonna talk him into that anymore, man. Oh, that's too funny.
All right, are we ready to randomly select a winner?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Stevie is literally scrolling through the section and is gonna
She's
point
gonna
to a name.
Pin her finger on one.
It's very scientific and quite a bit more random.
Should I
than the
tell you
first
when to
one.
stop scrolling? Or you already did?
Well, I just did,
There
but
you go, you got it.
we can go again.
Who is it? No.
I got Richard Plushow.
All right. Richard Plushow, again, sorry.
Stevie may or may not have butchered that,
Yeah, and I'm
I'm uncultured.
sympathetic. I have a name that gets butchered quite often, but
as do I.
you are the extremely random winner. I literally just nearly got nauseous looking at that thing scroll. So that was about as close of
Yeah, that was awesome. It's cool seeing that comment section just.
yeah. You guys have been great. We really appreciate you. Again, I think the format went very long, but we had a lot to say. We had a lot to show.
Yes.
Did a lot of prep. I think it was probably our biggest live ever, without a doubt.
It was awesome.
So
Thank you guys.
that makes us feel
So
good.
much.
Guy, thank you so much for your help in the washing. As always, our excellent video crew behind the scenes, Nick and Matt, have made it go off without a hitch and keeping you guys happy. So
Can't forget Stevie.
Stevie, come on.
Yeah, what the heck?
Come on, Stevie. I wasn't going to forget Stevie. But all right, guys. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. Leave more comments below about what you want to see in the next live.
Yes.
Subscribe to the YouTube channel so you don't miss the next one. You can follow us on Instagram and Facebook for any upcoming sales. And yeah, hopefully you learned something today. Have fun in your garage.
Thank you guys. Have fun in your garage.